Don't believe that it's better when you leave everything behind. Don't believe that the weather is perfect the day that you die.
I'm going to start with a very incredibly simple question. Just your name and what it is that you do.
My name is Ben Jorgensen, and I guess I play music.
I feel like you've known Rob for a while.
I have a story for later.
Okay. Not for
okay.
Not for,
well, not
is
for
this?
now.
For later.
For later. You hold on.
Yeah,
Okay.
hold on. Just think about that.
Where did you grow up in the States?
I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay, never been.
It's awesome. It's cool. I mean, when I was growing up, I think the show The Jersey Shore messed up everyone's perception of New Jersey, because growing up, saying you're from New Jersey, people were like, "Oh, do you go to the Jersey Shore and you party like these people?" Because that show became such a massive thing.
No, that's my perception. In New Zealand, that show was huge. It still is.
Yeah.
How close were you to New York, though? Because New Jersey is just, 5 minutes?
Yeah. So where I grew up in New Jersey, we were 4 miles from the George Washington Bridge, which is the bridge that connects the northern part of New York City. So we're basically like a New York City suburb. So very densely populated suburban area. And it was great. I mean, it had everything. It was like, had more malls than you could dream of in northern New Jersey. That's kind of what it's famous for. And yeah, it was a pleasant place to grow up. And I think what was really cool for my friends and I is that we were so close to New York City, and that became a big deal for us later when we got into music, because we were a 20-minute bus ride away from being in the heart of New York City, and then we
Holy
could take
shit.
a 20-minute bus ride back to our safe little suburban paradise. I think Chicago, had a similar thing going on.
Yeah.
Like all the kids in the suburbs, and it's no wonder that a lot of kids in Chicago started, making cool bands too, and that's kind of what happened in New Jersey.
Do you remember what some of those early bands were that you would bus in to see as a kid that you were just so excited for? Or was it more like go into town and find out what's there when you're there?
No, there were definitely specific bands that I was aiming to see. I mean, when I was going to shows, it was super punk rock was what I was into. And New York City was a great place for that, because it had some of the grungiest venues on the face of the planet that would host like the dirtiest punk shows ever. And,
Yeah.
And that's what we got into. We got into punk music from skateboarding. I don't know how we got into skateboarding, but skateboarding and punk kind of were very closely tied together. So then we found out about these bands like NoFX and Rancid from the West
God.
Coast, and started going to shows when we were like 13 years old.
Did your folks mind you going into those kind of shows? Were they like a bit worried, or was it just like go and do your thing?
Kind of go and do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty supportive of that.
What amazing for early shows to see, like NoFX and Rancid.
Yeah.
Those are amazing first
Yeah.
gigs.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah, we were lucky to be surrounded by that. And ska was a really big thing too.
A genre I still don't fully understand. We keep meaning to do an episode on that genre.
Yeah.
And I just sort of haven't found a way into it. But it's something, I've got a lot of friends that love it. I don't understand it at all, but I need to understand it.
My friends and I were super into ska, and I feel like ska was the transition from like punk rock to like pop punk for us. Like I don't know if you guys know Less Than Jake, but they're
Fueled by Ramen.
Fueled by
and-
Ramen, yeah. But I feel like one of the first pop punk bands I liked was Less Than Jake, and they were a ska band. So when ska kind of went away, I think pop punk kind of like grew in the aftermath.
Well, he founded Fueled by Ramen, right? Wasn't it a
Yeah.
Less Than Jake guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where all of those like emo bands came out of.
I see.
Yeah.
When did you start thinking when did you get into music yourself, transition from going to shows to wanting to play?
So I put on a show when I was 13 years old. My mom collected tickets at the door because we started going to shows when we were like 12 years old. So I really wanted to be involved, and this is before my friends and I were playing out with our own band. So maybe at around like 14 years old, we started playing our own shows.
What did they look like? Like your mum's taking tickets?
So I rented a VFW hall. It probably cost like $150. I rented a PA from Guitar Center, and I called a bunch of bands that I knew and, paid them each, I don't know, probably like $50 or $100. And then like 300 people would come and pay, probably $15. Like it was a big business for a 13-year-old
No,
kid.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
And like, what were you doing? Were you doing covers? Were you singing? Were you playing? What was your thing?
That first show that I did, I didn't play at all because I was I was the promoter before.
I see. Yeah. So you were promoting and bringing other bands in.
Yeah.
At 13.
At 13, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But I was playing music at that time. I was a drummer. I convinced my mom to give me drum lessons, which she was ambivalent to do because it meant a drum set had to be in her basement. And luckily, the house that we lived in New Jersey, I think in like the 50s, there was some like pirate radio station in the basement. So like whoever was there did some like light soundproofing.
Oh.
And it was by no means like a studio, but my mom was like, okay, I think it's maybe soundproof so you can have a drum set. But like it was the loudest thing ever in the house. So I was playing drums in my band with my best friends. I had my best friends all play different instruments. And then we did that band from when I was 13 years old all throughout high school. So once we were in high school, then we started playing these shows in New Jersey like 3 times a weekend. Yeah, and it was shows at VFW halls, at churches, at fire stations. And the scene in New Jersey at the time was vibrant. There would be like 500 kids coming to shows put on by 16-year-old kids. Sometimes it would be bands on tour from other areas, but a lot of times it was just like all of us playing for each other.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and that's how I started this whole thing. And then to jump ahead a little bit, at the end of high school, even though I was just the drummer of that band, I started writing songs myself. The guitar players in the band would leave their guitars at my mom's house, and I taught myself how to play guitar, and I started writing songs, and I realized like, am I a songwriter? Like, is this something that I want to do? But I was like stuck behind the drum set. So once high school ended, I had a vision for a band that I wanted to start, which is the band I've been doing ever since then. And so I quit that band and then made a demo, and that's how I got started with Armor for Sleep.
I kind of want to meet your mum. She sounds amazing. Like whether she was taking tickets for those first shows you were putting on, letting all these guitars be stored at your house, the basement situation. She sounds amazing.
Yeah, she's the best. So my parents split up when I was 2, and my dad was still in the picture. My dad's awesome too, but like our arrangement was that we just grew up with my mom basically, and so she raised my 2 older sisters and I, and was working all the time, and the fact that she still let me pursue this crazy, like I told her in 4th grade, I heard the Black Album by Metallica. I was like, I want to be in a band, and she was like, sure, whatever you want, and yeah, so super grateful that she's had my back throughout this whole.
Yeah, completely. I think it's kind of rare. Well, maybe it seems rare to have a parent that's just like, go for it, do that thing.
Yeah.
When their kid brings a Black Album in and it's like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I remember
awesome.
that record as well. God, it was good.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how to do this transition, and maybe we'll get back to your music again at the end because you're going to play us some songs. But what you were also doing at school is something I'm deeply curious about.
Yeah.
And I feel deeply American. Can you sort of explain to me how you got into this particular part of your schooling?
Yes. So thinking back on this whole experience, I was almost expecting to think of like negative parts of this, but like when I think back onto my experience in this whole world that we'll get into in a second, it really was such a positive experience for me, and I'm really like so thankful for it. And what happened is basically every year my school in 5th grade, there was an invention contest called the SITE contest, which stands for Student Invention Through Education. And every 5th grade student was required to do this like 2-month long, almost like a science fair competition thing. But in 4th grade, the teachers in my class picked 5 students that they thought were like special to be involved. So it'd be 5 4th grade students competing with all of the 5th grade class.
Which is super exciting because like a grade is a massive difference when you're that age.
Yeah. So in 4th grade, I was a really troubled kid. I was the class clown. I was misbehaving all the time. It's actually when my mom put me in therapy because I could not focus in school. Again, I was the class clown. I remember my teacher, Mrs. Goodman, developed a sign for me. She would tug on her ear, and that would mean that I was being like too loud, and instead of like calling me out and punishing me. So I was going through like a troubling time. I think it's because my parents had been divorced for a while, and like the kids I was around didn't like have that upbringing, and like I was just, struggling
through
a
it
little
on
bit
your
more.
own.
I set all of that up because Mrs. Goodman picked me in 4th grade as one of the 5 kids to compete in this invention contest. And I have a vivid memory of going up to her after class with tears in my eyes, asking her like, why did you pick me? Like we know I'm having all of these issues. Like, I was just like surprised and honored. And she was like, we just see, like, I don't know what it was. I guess they could see that I was still creative, even though I was having these behavioral issues. Anyway, so in 4th grade, I was one of the 5 kids to compete in this competition. And I wound up winning that year. I got 1st place out of the 4th graders. And then in 5th grade, I competed again and I won 1st place again. And then after winning, like in my school, the top 2 people would advance to like the regional competition. And that was something that was like all of northern New Jersey, all of the people who won in their specific schools would like compete against each other. So we had to go to this like bigger venue. It was in the Meadowlands, in this like convention hall.
What Meadowlands? What is that?
Oh, the Meadowlands. It's where Giants Stadium is, or MetLife Stadium is now, where the Giants play. There's basically nothing in the Meadowlands. It's just like open fields, and they have some convention centers and some hotels.
I see. Wait, just rewind. Your teacher, she sounds amazing.
Yes,
even just
is.
Thinking of her having the foresight to like tug an ear and not embarrass you in front of everyone and yell. That's huge.
Yeah,
like I feel like we all have these teachers that you remember. And for her to also hone in and be like, you're not a shithead, you're smart, and you're just not focused. Fuck, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And again, I don't remember, like 4th grade, I was 9 years old. Like I don't remember much, but I remember having that conversation with her, just being so moved that she believed in me, you know, and yeah, it was really special for me. I think that's probably why I took it seriously.
Do you remember what you invented?
I do. I remember.
Did you bring it in with you?
And okay, so yes. So here's another thing. So this invention contest lasted over the course of, I don't know, 1 or 2 months. You had to identify a problem. You had to talk about if you could think of a realistic solution. And then another aspect of it was that you had to go out and find if there were other comp items already on the market. And you had to call stores and see if things existed. And I remember I really picked up on all of that stuff because I don't know, I knew for some reason my classmates would just try and like invent crazy stuff. But I was like, no, this has to be like grounded and real. So I took that seriously. And I went to, like, I remember going to CVS and Walgreens and asking them if they had different products. And when I went to present my invention, I think that was, and this is what I asked my mom about this too, because I asked her if she had memories from this time. And she said that she thinks I won because I had like the whole marketing part down and I knew how to present my inventions. And they weren't the most mind-blowing inventions, but they were practical.
Yeah. They had like real world applications.
Yeah. That's the first time in my life like that clicked to me, that like it's more than just the product. It's about like, how does this fit into the world? And talking about how this connected to music, I think I used that too when I started doing everything I did in music, like kind of like looking at it as a whole rather than just like music. But anyway, going back to the inventions. Yes, the first year, my invention was called the Big and Tough Earmuffs.
I'm already on board. It's a great name.
So obviously being from New Jersey, we had really brutal winters. So every winter we had to wear earmuffs. And my 4th grade mind, the annoying thing about earmuffs for me was that you had these 2 earmuffs on your ears, but then there was this like really stiff like plastic part that went on your head and it would dig into your head and it hurt.
Yeah, 5 minutes in and you're get this thing off me.
One size does not fit all.
No, absolutely not.
Exactly. So with that in mind, I dissected a pair of earmuffs and I just took off the outer shell with the insulation and I put like a drawstring inside so you can put them on your ears and then pull a drawstring. So each one was like suctioned onto your ear. So instead of, you know, earmuffs with the band. So yeah, so I went to all these stores. I said, do you have any earmuffs that don't have the plastic band on top or anything? And nobody did. So
very specific question from a kid coming into a store.
Yeah.
A like 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so these things and they just suck onto your ears like this.
Yeah.
That's great.
You're prototyping these too? And
yeah, I had the actual, my mom helped me sew on the elastic band and everything, but.
And just the name in them again?
The Big and Tough Earmuffs. Yeah.
Really good.
Another thing was that the
really
name had to be like catchy too. So.
And it is catchy.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. I feel like you could pitch that on a Dragon's Den or something.
Yeah.
What came next?
So the second year, my invention was called the Floss Boss. So
another great name.
I don't know if you remember, dental floss come in, there's like kind of like a square type plastic
So
packaging.
I floss sometimes twice a day. I'm a big floss guy,
same.
so I'm intrigued by this.
But the second type of packaging, it almost looks like an 8-sided piece of plastic thing. So my thing with that, my problem in 5th grade was that you never knew when you were towards the end of the dental floss because it's so light.
Tell me about this. No, completely. And there's nothing more frustrating when you go to floss before bed and you pull it out, you're done.
Yes.
And then it's like a week of trying to remember to buy more floss.
Yes. So the Floss Boss, my invention was I took one of those containers, I flipped it over, and I put a clear piece of plastic on the underneath. So you could always see when the spool was so brutally simple.
But so practical.
Yeah.
And again, you're walking into these stores asking like to see all their floss containers.
Yeah, to see the floss containers, and people come in with
doing
these
market research? You're a little 11-year-old.
Yeah.
No, again, just like deeply practical.
Yeah.
And things that could actually exist in real life. Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Do you remember what other kids were doing around you?
Yes. So other kids' inventions were like, they would do like flying cars or like, a magnet that could, bring your refrigerator into your house so you wouldn't have to lift it up the stairs, but like
Stupid.
They would have no
dumb shit. What are you gonna, doesn't make
no
no
wonder
anyone at all. Idiots.
So mine were like simple, practical things, and that's why they won. I remember this was also the first time where I experienced the first haters in my life. So
also going to prep you for a world of music and promotion.
Yeah, no, I remember after the Big and Tough Earmuffs one, I was in a bathroom stall in school, and I already had this reputation that like maybe I didn't deserve to be there because like I was the troubled kid. But not only did I get chosen as one of the 5 kids, but I won.
Yeah, it would be hugely controversial because at school I was a little nerd, and I would have been angry at you because I was doing everything right, sucking up to all the teachers. Suddenly you, who's this naughty little shit in school, got rewarded. What the hell?
Yeah. I remember the day after I won, I was in like a bathroom stall and kids came in and they were just shit talking how simple the Big and Tough Earmuffs was, and that I shouldn't have won because it was such a basic idea. And that was the first time I had to deal with haters.
Which at the time would be like quite stressful and awful.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Did they know you were in there, or you were in a stall?
Didn't.
So you was,
yeah.
Because I feel like that's every scene in every American sitcom is that stage where like you're listening to kids like talking shit in the stalls.
Mm-hmm.
But then that fueled your emotional journey into becoming a songwriter.
Yeah. I went through the same exact thing at a certain, many times over, like having haters for music, but I mean, you only get haters once you do something that's like at least marginally successful, right? You know what I mean? So like, it was the same thing, just trying to understand that, like why that's happening.
I don't want to be extreme with this, but I feel like if you didn't have that invention part of your life, do you think you would be doing what you're doing today? Sort of gently steered you in certain ways of viewing the world and thinking about things and succeeding.
I was thinking about that a lot, trying to like recall like that experience. And I think there is a through line between that and what I would do later.
It's also confidence, right? It's also someone saying you can succeed, you can do something.
It was a huge confidence booster. The fact that my teachers took a chance on me and the fact that I was able to get up here and understand like the system of something, I definitely took that and ran with it.
Do you still have a brain where you feel like you're seeing a product and you're always trying to invent a slightly better version? Do you still have that part of you?
Yeah, you have like 250 patents that you own.
Yeah.
So I don't think necessarily with inventions, but I think I realized something again about like maybe analyzing the system of something. So for instance, when I started Armor for Sleep when I was 16 years old, I knew that if you wanted to make it as a band, it was more than just about like writing a song. Like at that time, record labels were starting to sign bands. So I knew I needed to attract the attention of a record label. And then there was also a part of it where like I knew artwork was such a big component of a band. And like, it's more than just like, I knew like peers who were my age were very focused on just like one aspect of their band. But I think I saw that it's like a bigger system in place. You have to have a lot of pieces in there. So I don't know if like I learned that specifically through my experience in the Invention contest, or the Invention contest just revealed that I can kind of think about things, in like a larger scope. But like, I think when I was starting the band, I was drawing upon what I did in the Invention contest, where like, thinking about the marketing, thinking about like, bigger things.
I think that's a good segue for my story with you.
Oh my God. I'm
waiting.
excited for this.
I've been waiting.
So yeah, when I was 15, I started designing t-shirts for bands.
Yeah.
And I hit you up on AIM.
Dude. What was your screen name?
I was the Academy Rocker.
No, you were not.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my
and
God.
And you were
dude.
one of the first bands that let me like do designs for shirts.
That's amazing.
And just the confidence that it gave me. Like I was in art class in high school.
Wow.
And I was growing up around like the Academy guys and Fall Out Boy and that whole scene, but getting into kind of art and a practical usage of it. Like I was in my art studio class working essentially and designing t-shirts for all these different bands. And I always remember you being very nice to this over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just some 15-year-old kid that like I had no design background. I was just
I remember chatting with you. We used to chat all the time.
Getting into it and like
nice.
Like designing t-shirts.
Did any of them make it? Do you know?
I don't know if any of them did at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that was like the start of my design journey.
That's incredible. How'd you get my screen name?
I think it was just Armor for Sleep.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't even know. It was probably on your website.
Yeah, it probably was.
Fuck, that's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's insane. You remember the screen name?
I remember the Academy. Yeah, we used to talk all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
because I don't think you knew who the Academy was yet. Because they had not blown up.
Yes.
They had not become the Academy is yet.
Yeah, but then I started to know about the band.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just associated you with, like, I thought you were associated with the band from the beginning, like officially.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still close with Siska and those guys, but
that's fucking
so
wild.
Awesome.
That's like a really pure, lovely story.
Yeah. I was always a kid who was chasing down like my favorite bands that I wanted to work with, and like there were guys that were always so sweet to me and so supportive. Like, man, I used to bring like poetry books to Thursday shows to give to Jeff, the singer from Thursday, and Chris from Saves the Day. I used to be up front at all of their shows singing along, and he was just so gracious to me. And like I always wanted to do that with like kids or younger people who would like hit us up to be like, check out my band's demo or whatever. And they were like, I can't believe you're talking to me. And I was like, I grew up with bands that I loved, being nice to me. So like, why wouldn't I do that to, be that way to other people too?
Those types of people I remember quite a bit from that age. I remember when like Fall Out Boy hit and they're going on Kimmel and stuff. And it's like, those are the guys from this small town, and seeing them achieve this in it as like just a 15-year-old of like, that's who I just saw at a VFW, and having the confidence to then reach out. And yeah, that was the start of my grind, I guess.
And the internet was a slightly more pure place then, where I feel like you could reach out and those comms were a bit less insane than they are now.
Yeah, I remember someone gave me a Brendan Boyd from Incubus's screen name one time, and I would just like send him AIM messages and like chat with him, and he was like really cool to me. I don't even know if it was really him, but I think it was.
It's like my friend Celine. She thought she was talking to Britney Spears all through school and was getting help with her homework from Britney Spears.
This is semi-recent though, right? Because she's younger.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't. Yeah, not this recently. But yeah, then she realized at some point that Britney Spears wasn't helping her homework. It was just some dude at the other end of the line.
God.
Yeah, internet's a different world for women.
It is a different world for women. Different when you're reaching out to people. I don't know how to transition to this, but you're going to play some songs for us soon.
Yeah.
One thing I do know about your music is, Rob and I...
Or what, you brought a treat, right? Did you bring a treat?
I did bring a treat.
Oh, you got a treat?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you listened to the memo so clearly.
Yeah.
What have you got for me?
So, I will say it's something that needed to be prepared. So I was going to make it here, but I feel like that wouldn't have been the best for like visual podcasts if I'm just sitting making something. So I pre-made these, but I want to show you the ingredients. So this comes from, I was thinking about student invention competition in my time growing up, and growing up in New Jersey. And I didn't realize that something I grew up with was very specific to the New England area. And this was just something that I grew up. So,
okay, I
really doubt they have this in New.
It's a meat pie.
This is my favorite part of this show. Is the
okay.
This is called marshmallow fluff. Have you ever heard of this?
No, but I'm
you don't know about fluff?
Fucking into it because I love marshmallow and I love sugar.
Okay,
so this is purely.
I was reading about this. This is the standard story of some guy invented this in like the 1920s called marshmallow fluff, sold it to like Heinz or something, and then they had all of this stuff and they didn't know what to do with, so they started marketing it towards school children.
Of course, they're the best recipients.
Yeah, I remember we weren't allowed to have that, and I had a friend that they were allowed to have it.
Yes,
we'd sneak over there and eat.
So we were allowed to have it. So marshmallow fluff plus peanut butter is called a Fluffernutter sandwich.
Fuck, this is the best thing that's been brought into the segment ever.
So I was reading a little bit about this. It's like a staple of New England kids' food, and there's actually been political campaigns to like ban this, but it's such a beloved school time lunch that like politicians have like gone to bat trying to keep this like on the menu or like. So anyway, I grew up with this, and I think it's so insane to me because this is just like a candy sandwich. And we would just go to school with this, with like a side of Oreo cookies.
Because I feel like the closest, I mean, I thought you were going to do, when you brought out that white bread and the peanut butter, a peanut butter and jam sandwich, which is a big deal in New Zealand and a big deal here in America. This marshmallow element is wild to me.
It's crazy.
Just like we're in school. This is the best. This is the best. Yeah. So kids would have these in their lunchboxes? This is just a thing. Who the fuck invented this, eh?
Yeah. We had funny rules in my house. Like there was no candy allowed in my house. We couldn't have soda. Mm-hmm. But my mom would let us go to the grocery store and buy whatever cereal we wanted. So we would buy Lucky Charms.
No, because cereal is healthy.
Yeah. And also we would have this for lunch sometimes. So
that like mom logic back then was insane. Our house was the same. No soda, no candy. But my mom would make sandwiches with butter and cinnamon sugar on top.
Yes.
That was
I love that. And cinnamon toast.
That somehow is okay. In my household, orange juice was healthy. That was like your fruit intake. Like, I'm so fucking sad with this. Oh, hell yeah.
How good is that?
Absolutely. Oh, this is insane.
How hard is it to find fluff? Is it just
any grocery store you walk into? This is at Ralph's.
I've never seen this marshmallow cream before. I've never heard of it before. Did you have this in your house?
Not my house, but I mean, we would just spoon in there with marshmallow.
Also, I'm really not sure. I've never used marshmallow fluff for anything other than this sandwich. Like, I think this is the only application for Fluffernutter sandwiches. Mm-hmm, it's just this and peanut butter and white bread. I mean, I guess maybe you could use this on like ice cream as a topping, but
Vinny would love this. I gotta get this.
No, this is heaven. This is I could eat this all day.
Yeah, but
it's bad for me.
I mean, with nutrition information being so readily available, I just don't know if this can ever happen in 2026 again. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, my 4-year-old's preschool, like, can't have peanuts, can't have sugar in his lunch. So
that's a school rule?
School rule, yeah.
Holy Is that for allergens for the peanut?
Yeah, and I think health with the sugar aspect, but only natural sugars.
I mean, this is one of the most American things I could think of. Yeah. Like, America is so good at getting sugar into people. It's just marketed at kids everywhere and adults.
I just think it's hysterical that like the history of it is just some product they didn't know what to do with and to just push it on kids and it's beloved.
And I love that it's become a political talking point. We have got some people advocating for bans and then someone coming in and being like, no, we'll never ban this.
Yeah.
So the bans were because of how unhealthy it is?
I'm assuming so, yeah. Yeah.
It can be no other reason. It's like too delicious.
Yeah.
It's ban it.
I brought a couple knives if anyone wants to make a second.
That's amazing. You're going to play some music for us, and there's no easy transition as we eat a very juvenile sandwich. I feel like a lot of your subject matter is quite dark or sort of death related. And Rob and I think Rob and I are both terrified of dying. So anything about death, my little ears perk up because it's very much a topic that I'm wondering where that came into your sort of into your brain.
I got to shout out my dad here. My dad is a super smart guy. And when I say super smart, I mean really smart. Like went to MIT for theoretical physics.
Oh, okay.
Then went to Columbia Medical School to be a doctor. Like just super smart. So he was always raising me with like little tidbits about like, quantum mechanics. And so I think that definitely contributed to me thinking about darker and deeper things at a younger age than a lot of my friends. But also I think that's just who I was, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I've always been fascinated by death and what that means, and I think everyone thinks about that to a certain level.
Stay tuned for more Flightless Bird. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Was there any religious element in your childhood, or was it purely more from the science side?
Yeah, I was raised in a pretty religious household, but I don't think that contributed to this. Like I never bought any of the, God's like a guy sitting in a chair in heaven,
right. Eternal life kind of.
Yeah,
stuff.
no. Yeah. So I never bought any of that, even though that was never really pushed on me like that. Also, I think the fact that my parents went through a divorce, we didn't have like that nuclear family at home. So I spent a lot of time by myself. And I also think I spent a lot of time maybe thinking about, I guess, I don't know how else to say it, but like emotional things that like my friends weren't thinking about, just because there was a little bit of a struggle at home with my mom having to work so hard and us splitting up time between our parents. Like I was just like, this isn't normal. And I knew something was a little bit different with our family dynamic. And I think that definitely contributed to me thinking a little bit more about, being secluded, being alone with my own thoughts and facing that part of me, I think at a younger age than most people, go through that. So yeah, I was thinking about death and darker things a little bit earlier. And what I think really was most important is that drew me to darker music, I think earlier on than most people. Like for instance, 9 Inch Nails was I remember hearing the song Something I Can Never Have off Pretty Hate Machine when I was really young, and such a moody and dark song, and maybe other kids would want to skip it, but I really resonated with
that's the one. Yeah, this quiet and more intense.
Quiet, more intense, talking about longing for someone in a minor key. That spoke to me when I was in like 6th grade. You know what I mean? I just think that's kind of how my brain was wired. Mm-hmm. So after being such a fan of that, I wanted to, throw my hat in the ring, and that's just always what I've been drawn towards.
Yeah, that completely makes sense. What are you going to play for us today?
So the first song that I'm going to play is a song called Car Underwater.
From the album What to Do When You're Dead.
What to Do When You Are Dead, yes.
Yeah, which is a great album title, by the way. Like, it's dark and it's also quite fun.
And I remember the imagery from that album, too. The cover is, what, a man like floating?
A man floating, yeah. So the What to Do When You Are Dead, it's the second album we put out, and it's I guess now people call it a concept album. So the first song on the album is Car Underwater. It's about a guy who apparently drives his car into a lake or a river or something. And then the rest of the album, he's kind of in a state of purgatory, trying to reconnect with people from his life and coming to all these realizations about the decision that he made. But the whole thing kicks off with Car Underwater. And over the years, Car Underwater has been, has kind of like taken on a life of its own. And, with Spotify and everything over the past few years, it's like we can see tangibly, like this is
people
like
are
its
grabbing
own thing.
onto this thing.
Yeah.
What do you put that down to, that particular song? People, because it's interesting what you mentioning Spotify, because it's probably my age and what I grew up with, and Rob's probably the same in a way. Like the concept album to me is like, I love it because it draws you into a whole record.
Yes.
It's not just the idea of, the idea of listening to a song on an album and then just not listening to the rest is just not something I'd ever do.
It's the opposite of where music is trending, with just like singles and don't worry about albums.
Exactly.
But that's why I'm interested in this song, that people obviously look at Spotify and it jumps here because kids are finding this thing.
Well, I mean, it is kind of like a catchier song, but I also think that people who relate to that song, I think they also know that it's part of a larger thing. Like it's very rare for there to be a fan at our shows who likes Car Underwater but is not familiar with the album as a whole.
Yeah, so you're drawing in that kind of a listener that wants the whole thing.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Well, it's crazy when internet trends will happen and songs will just get rediscovered 10 years later and blow up. I think Dr. Dog had that with Where'd All the Time Go. just became like an Instagram, TikTok trend.
Yes.
And like billions of streams after that song had been out for 10 years.
Yeah. So there are fans of Armor for Sleep. I'm super stoked they're fans of my band. But then there are, within fans of Armor for Sleep, there are just fans of What to Do When You Are Dead. And like that album within, like our catalog specifically has become its own thing. And like, it's awesome. I know a lot of bands are like, there's a level of frustration that something they did so long ago is going to be one of, the thing that gets the most attention. But like, I love it. Like you said, there are 16-year-old kids coming to our show who just discovered this album, who have like the booklet for me to sign, who are asking me all these questions. And, it's cool. It's definitely like over the course of time, still managed to intrigue people.
Well, you've kind of made this thing that's like a bit timeless as well, that's still accessible.
Yeah.
Was that album peak Armor for Sleep?
I mean, for sure, that came out on Equal Vision, which was an indie label, and that sold like a crazy amount. And then after that, we signed a major label deal. So like that was, when everything was the craziest for us. It was also 2005. It's when like major labels were like,
Holy shit.
snatching up My Chem and Fall Out Boy. And yeah, so that's kind of, that was our big moment back in the day for sure.
So I remember Dream to Make Believe was where I found you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys also had just the hoodie that said Armor across, which was like such a cultural piece of fashion, it felt like at that time, where it was black hoodie, Armor, just simple font on the front.
Getting that merch right.
Yeah. No, that hoodie was big. A lot of people bring that up, actually.
You gotta bring it back.
Yeah, we do have to bring it back. Yeah.
There's a merch guy over here.
Yeah.
We'll slide into your DM. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I'm all sugared up on marshmallow cream. Dangerous shit. I've recently discovered cookie butter.
Oh, yeah.
And that feels like a similar genre where that could be sitting in the cupboard and I'll just like spoon into it.
Is that the Trader Joe's one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
It's good.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.
I'm in a car underwater with time to kill. Thinking back, I forgot to tell you this. Didn't care that you left and abandoned me. What hurts more is I would still die for you. I'm in a car underwater with time to kill. Thinking back, I forgot to tell you this. Didn't care that you left and abandoned me. What hurts more is I would still die for you. And make time slower and give me longer. But it's too late for me. No one will know that I am down here. And believe your dreams of me sinking so far below. You can't pull me up from here, so don't try. I'm in a car underwater with time to chill. Thinking back, I forgot to tell you this. Didn't care that you left and abandoned me. What hurts more is I would still die for you. I'm in a car underwater with time to chill. Thinking back, I forgot to tell you this. Didn't care that you left and abandoned me. What hurts more is I would still die for you. And leave it up to me to burden you again. But this one's not your fault. Please forgive me. And leave it up to me to burden you again. But this one's not your fault. So forget me. And don't think back to me at all. Just let me go. Don't think back to me at all. to tell you this. Didn't care that you left and abandoned me. What hurts more is I would still die for you. I'm in a car underwater with time to chill, thinking back if I tried to tell you this. Didn't care that you left and abandoned me. What hurts more is I would still die for you. And I would still die for you. And I would still die for you. And I would still die for you. I would still die for you. And I would still die for you.
All right. This song is called Ice on the Lake.
It's morning, there's ice on the lake. And I'm just passing by on my way. And suddenly from underneath the surface, I see someone fighting to break through. As I crawl across to lend a hand, I can see that it's you. But if I try and pull you up, we both know I'd slip under too. So hard for me to turn away, but I've already been down there with you. There's a fire up ahead for me. Can't see it yet, but I know it's not far. Sorry I couldn't do more for you. I'll always hear your song in my heart. It's hard for me to watch the seasons change. We used to run through these woods every day. But I couldn't keep up with your footsteps. I watched the cold steal you away. I see you fighting there underneath the surface. It hurts so bad, but I have to walk away. 'Cause if I try and pull you up, we both know I'd slip under too. So hard for me to turn away, but I've already been down there with you. There's a fire up ahead for me. Can't see it yet, but I know it's not far. Sorry I couldn't do more for you. I'll always hear your song in my heart. I'll always hear your song in my heart. Always hear your song in my heart. But if I try and pull you up, we both know I'd slip under too. So hard for me to turn away, but I've already been down there with you. There's a fire up ahead for me. Can't see it yet, but I know it's not far. Sorry I couldn't do more for you. I'll always hear your song in my heart. All right, cool. This song is The Truth About Heaven. my grave in the dark tonight. I saw the stone and the note you left for me. To answer your question, I just had to leave. I just had to leave. But that's not why I'm here. I came down here to tell you it rains in heaven all day long. I wanna find you so bad and let you know I'm miserable up here without you. Back in the dark tonight. I couldn't wake up not right next to you. I'd trade in forever to just hear you say the sound of my name. But that's not why I'm here. I came down here to tell you it rains in heaven all day long. I wanna find you so bad and let you know I'm miserable up here without you. And don't believe that it's better when you leave everything behind. Don't believe that the weather is perfect the day that you die. Don't believe that the weather is perfect the day that you die. I came down here to tell you it rains in heaven all day long. I wanna find you so bad and let you know I'm miserable up here without you. I came down here to tell you it rains in heaven all day long. I wanna find you so bad and let you know I'm miserable up here without you. Don't believe that the weather is perfect the day that you die.